everybody. Hi. My name is Shannan Scarselletta, and I am the founder of ImproVision and also a professional improviser. How are you feeling? Great, good, because this is an interactive session, so please come in. The people in the back, you're going to be working together during the session. I have 15 high-energy minutes to teach you guys a technique, an improv-inspired storytelling technique that will help you propel yourself down the path towards change simply by building your story together. Okay, we're going to be talking about shared storytelling. Okay, that's me. I want to talk about this first, because a lot of you, thank you guys today, for those of you who came over to our booth and participated in this shared drawing. Now, for those of you who didn't participate, what we did was have people add one line at a time, and it could have a curve but not an edge. And we created a drawing together that none of us have complete ownership of, but all of us are accountable to. Isn't it beautiful? Didn't we do a great job? Great job for our artists, right? We will be auctioning off this incredible artwork, so get out your panels. So that kind of leads us into what we're going to be talking about today, which is shared storytelling. But first, in that spirit of storytelling, I want to tell you a little bit about my story. My entire professional career, I was an organizational change management consultant. I worked with Fortune 500 companies to design and implement transformational change. Sounds easy, right? Really, we would design these beautiful slides and come up, close the door and design a beautiful strategy, a beautiful solution. But we were always limited in our ability to enact change by our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to connect. That was always the extent to which we could make change happen. Now that was my Bruce Wayne job. My Batman job. At night I would go home and I would put on my improv outfit and I would go out and I'd perform improvisation for live audiences, which means that I would get up on a stage such as this with a group of friends and I would make up cohesive, ideally funny performances entirely made up on the spot using only the ideas of the people around me and myself. And I did that all over the country. You may have seen Upright Citizens Brigade, Whose Line Is It Anyway, Second City, IO West, UCB, Comedy Sports, all the theaters I just mentioned, I taught, performed, took classes at. So I was a very hardcore professional improviser, and I felt like my feet were in these just two very different places. And I was being pulled in two separate different directions. And improvisers, we have this saying, follow your feet, which means trust your instincts. So one day I looked down at my feet and I said, maybe I'm onto something here. Because the skills that my clients needed to enact change were the exact same skills that my improv friends worked every time we were together. Communication, agility, creativity. So I founded ImproVision Consulting with the mission of developing tomorrow's agile, innovative, and connected leaders and teams using facilitation and training inspired by improv comedy. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing a little bit of improv. Yeah! It is as fun as it sounds, and it is extremely transformational because it gets people on their feet and out of their comfort zone. But we're here to talk specifically about storytelling. So I want you to think about a time in your life where a change was forced upon you, either at work or at home, or when you got an iPhone push that upgraded your iPhone and it was terrible for a day. When you didn't have a say in that change. And I want you to just shout at me, how did that make you feel? Ah! Actually, is like perfect, right? Frustrated, you're not part of the solution, it's happening to you. Now think about a time when you were a part of creating and designing that change. How did that feel? I would like another emotional sound, that would be good. Yeah, I like the woos. I love woos. Yeah. Being a part of the change has a drastic impact on how we receive it. And when we're talking about storytelling, the tool that I want to share with you is called shared storytelling, and we can get to the next slide. Shared storytelling is incorporating the diverse ideas of each of us to weave a story that is reflective of all of us. It is incorporating other people's ideas to build something together that is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, the value, we're all conscious capitalists, so I'm going to talk to the value for a quick second. It helps you build a story that resonates, because more people have their hand in it, which means it's going to be reflective of more ideas. It helps you build consensus and buy-in. It changes people who are recipients of change to people who are champions of change, because they help design it. And the big one to me, this is my baby, all ImproVision is about, is building trust and understanding, because it is encouraging authentic dialogue about what your values are. And then this is, like I should have said, this is also very important to me. It empowers the voices that are not always heard, which so many people today have said, that's what garners you respect and a real connection with your colleagues and with your clients and customers. So this is a great big tool. And improvisers, by the way, this is our bread and butter. Shared storytelling, creating something with the diverse ideas of our partners, and we have no idea what it's going to be, and we don't have total control over it. It's what we do. But it is not easy. I will tell you firsthand, it is not easy. Here's what it does to you. It opens you up to the craziness of other people, to people dropping bombs on you, to being pushed out of your comfort zone, to having to trust people that you don't know if they're on their A game. And most importantly, to give up that idea that your idea is perfect, simply because other people's ideas are not involved in it. That is the only reason it's not perfect. So people haven't fully bought in. So improvisers have a technique to push ourselves to shift our behavior, because again, this isn't natural. This is hard to do. So we have a technique we use that I want to share with you, and we're going to exercise it today in these 15 minutes. And it is called yes and. How many of you have yes anded before? Great. Let's put your hands up. I want to ask another question. How many of you are improvisers? Ooh, that's not 100%. 100% of you are improvisers. Because from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to sleep at night, you are making stuff up. You are responding to the information that other people are giving to you, and you are responding to the top of your intelligence to make something incredible happen, or just get by, depending on your day. So don't worry about that. But we're going to do a little yes and. I got 10 minutes. Thank you. Excuse me, what's your name? Morgan? Maria. Do you mind playing a little game with me? Maria's going to say any line of dialogue to me. Don't worry about it. I got your back. Say any line of dialogue to me that is not a question. She said that is awesome. This is terrible. I don't know what you're talking about. We're having a terrible time at this bar. Keep going.
The moon is red.
The moon is not red. It is a very clear blue. Keep going.
The sea is green.
What sea? There's no sea. It's 2099 and there's no sea left. How fun is this to watch? First of all, it is actually hard for me at this point to do. Thank you so much. Give it up for Maria. So what I was just doing is no butting her. I was completely negating the ideas she was throwing at me to control the idea myself. Nope, we're at a bar. Nope, the moon is blue. Nope, there's no sea, it's 2099. I'm in control. It's my idea. That allows me to protect myself. Saying yes to Maria would allow me to reaffirm her idea, tell her she is brilliant, and build on top of it. And that's what yes and is. Yes and is embracing the ideas of the people around you, being affected by them, being changed by them, and adding to it. Next slide. Oh, no, this is the slide. Perfect. Thank you. So we're going to do an exercise that, and just so you know, what yes and really does is it says to that person, you can take risks, you can go big, you can be authentic and honest with me, because the only thing I'm going to say to you is what? Yes. Yes and. Exactly. Builds trust and more momentum. So we're going to do an exercise. You guys are going to improvise right now, doing yes and. So you're going to play a game called Great Party Last Night with the people around you. Get familiar with the people around you, even the people standing. So the people around you, like groups of 4 to 5, the people around you last night went to a great party. Oh, I'm gonna let you introduce yourselves. Y'all are friendly. Y'all are super friendly. Okay, I promise we'll get back to it. Let me explain to you how we're gonna go down on this path. So, the people around you, with you, were at a great party with you last night. It was a crazy, awesome party. You guys are going to reminisce about that party together by offering different ideas about what happened at that party. The next person to add to that is gonna say yes, and they're gonna add to it. So, great party last night. Oh man, Snoop Dogg was amazing. Yeah, and he brought his whole posse. And you're gonna keep saying yes and to build on what was at that party. Some things that are true. You guys were all there, so there are no questions. Y'all were all there, even though there were drinks flowing. Or maybe not, it was a dry party, who cares? Do your thing. And the other thing is, if someone says something, if you were all there, they're right? So no buts. So the other rule is, it's gonna start with someone saying, great party last night, and it's gonna end, and you're gonna have about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to play with this. 3 minutes. And that's when the cops showed up. That's how it's gonna end. Cool? Let's go, be free. Great party last night. You're about halfway through, so really dig in. All right, find your way there. The cops are going to show up in a second. And find your natural conclusion. The shot, you hear them, you hear the cops. I'm going to ask a few questions and then I'm going to close with how we can use this. How did that feel? Fun, right? Was anything about that hard? Yes. Yes, what was hard? Thinking on your feet, responding in the moment to what someone else says. Was anything helpful? What was helpful to you in that? What made that easier? Yes, and. Knowing that the people around you are going to say yes to you. Huh? Feeling, oh, thank you. Thank you, my plant. Feeling safe, exactly. You feel safe and secure knowing that the people around you have your backs. So this is a great tool for shared storytelling. To say yes to the people and build on their ideas, to create your own stories, to earn buy-in and momentum, to propel yourself down the path towards change. We can switch the slide. I was gonna ask this, but I'll just share this with you. Here's some ways that we can actually use yes and in our organizations to create shared stories. Yes and does not mean that marketing runs everything. It means that you use multiple functions to build your story and multiple levels. You can rotate or flatten meeting facilitation. You can engage stakeholders and customers in editing and providing feedback in different phases of the story development. And this is a big one, separate ideation from editing. So go big, then cut it back. And you can actually just use yes and. Introduce this to your organization. Use this tool, I mean it. And so we just skimmed the top of what improvisation can do to build trust and safety within your organization, to build big ideas and to take big risks. Come back this afternoon, we're gonna be doing more. If this was fun for you, we're gonna be doing more activities in the back. So come visit me, Kelly, and Rob. We're having a great time back there. We're gonna do more improv. And shift your brain to think from thinking, no but, to thinking yes and, to build stronger organizations and more trust within your organizations and with your customers. Thank you very much.